Hello, Fraction Camp. Okay, so I'm going to be using pattern blocks now. This is a fraction routine, establishing the whole. That is such an important concept that I really want to show what it looks like. So for those of you that don't, I'm sure everybody has seen these blocks at some point or another. And if you don't know the name of them, they're called pattern blocks. They're probably most commonly seen in kindergarten, and I think a lot of people mistakenly think that these are just blocks for little kids. And yes, they are blocks for little kids, but I'm going to show you how these blocks can take on pretty sophisticated meanings. And what I mean by that is, okay, remember, we're going to establish the whole here. We're going to say, all right, here's a block. Let's call that one equal to one whole. And then I'm going to ask students to tell me if that's one whole, then what is this value right here? What is that value? And I'm going to want students to be able to say, okay, I'm going to compare the red blocks, the red trapezoids, to the yellow hexagons. And you can start using those terms by comparing the two and looking at them. Remember, I'm going to say that that's equal to 1/2. And then I always want the reasoning to be attached to it because two equal pieces are a fair trade for one whole. Okay, let's see if I want to know what's the value of the blue block. Then I'm going to say, let's take the blue block and let's see if we can match it up to the yellow block. By the way, I'm going to start using the terminology. The blue block is a blue trapezoid, or the blue parallelogram, and the yellow block is the yellow hexagon. And so it looks like that. And so I'm going to say, all right, that's equal to 1/3. Again, because 3 equal parts, 3 equal pieces are I'm going to say on this one, I'm going to say have the same value as one whole. And finally, not finally, but in addition, I'm going to ask what's the value of this guy, the green block. And the green block has a value, you got to say these green triangles, or you might say the green equilateral triangles, depending on what grade you're in. You can slowly introduce those terms. Notice that fractions become also now a developing geometry terms. And so you can see there's 6 of them there. And I'm going to say this is equal to 1/6. And that is because 6 equal pieces have, are equivalent to one whole. Please notice that I'm using, intentionally here, I'm using 3 different terms. I'm saying fair trade, I'm saying same value, and then I'm saying equivalent. These two I'm going to call colloquial phrases, like it's a fair trade, they have the same value, and I'm going to call this the academic language. I'm going to want to scaffold students to that academic language. This is especially important for ELD students who are learning cognitive academic language. This is probably their biggest challenge in English, is to get the precise academic terminology down. By the way, that's also true for all of our low literacy students, whether they are identified as second language or not. So in many ways, low literacy students or second language or ELD identified students have the exact same needs. Okay, so with that in mind, now I'm going to ask, okay, so what's the value of this block? And now I forgot to mention this. But the purple and the brown blocks are kind of specialty blocks. They're not typically seen in the block collections that you have for kindergarteners, but I purchased them specially for this class. And so what is the value of a brown block? Like we always do, we're going to take the brown block and we're going to compare it to the whole block. Let's see if I can do this correctly. Oh, it's going to be a challenge for kids. It's a little challenge for me, as you can see. Okay. Let me get this right. There you go. I feel like I got it now. And you see now the brown blocks fit onto the yellow block, just like that. And you can see that the value of the brown block is equal to 1/4. And then I want the reasoning. Remember, this is the reasoning. You want to actually scaffold students through that using sentence frames and putting those sentence frames in your classroom and really encouraging students to do it that way. Okay, what is the value of the purple block? Okay, so to find the value of a purple block, yay. Okay, so you can see, I'm not going to put all the purples on here, but you can see that a purple block is actually 1/2, exactly 1/2 of a green block. And what I mean by that is if it takes 6 green blocks to fill this up, it'll take 12 purple blocks. I'm not going to torture you by doing that right now. So that means this is equal to 1/12. And then I'll give my reasoning because 12 equal size pieces is equivalent to a whole block. All right. Now, let's see, there's a couple of other pieces in here, and the couple of other pieces look like this. And it's a really good challenge for students to say, what's the value of each of these pieces? And, you know, I'll leave it to you to figure that out, but it can be done. But sometimes students will proclaim that, oh, this is too hard. It can't be done, but it can. All right. So this is establishing a whole. I'm using this as the whole and moving it on through all the blocks. I haven't done these two yet, and those are a good challenge.